all again. And I can't believe that we are already, I think this is our fourth online live group reading. I can't remember if it's our third or our fourth, because Fridays go by so quickly, and I'm so excited for all of you to be here. I want to thank everybody who returned this week with me, and also for those of you who are tuning in for the very first time. I'm so happy that you're here because it means that you're safe and you're healthy and hopefully with your family. But even if you're not and you're alone, it doesn't matter because you get to spend it with us today. And more importantly, tonight we're going to be doing something amazing. We're going to be connecting with heaven, connecting with our departed loved ones, and seeing what messages they have for us on the other side. And that's the reason why I wanted to do this event. I wanted to do this event because I know so many of you are nervous right now. You know, we're going through something that's really crazy right now. These are crazy, crazy times. And it's stressful. It's stressful when we're at home. A lot of you are alone. We're by ourselves. We can't see our family. We can't see our friends. I know that I haven't been able to see my mom as well because, you know, we've been slow in the spread of Corona. So I wanted to do these events to really show you all that you really are not truly alone, that your loved ones are with you. They're here every day. And more importantly, they're trying to reach out to you. They're trying to connect with you. They're trying to speak with you. So tonight is going to be an amazing, amazing event where we're going to be channeling the other side. I'm going to be reading and reconnecting as many of you as I possibly can with your loved ones on the other side. So just to tell you a little bit about the way that this works, because obviously, you know, this is something new and exciting that we started doing. And the way that this works is that on my screen, everybody starts to get filtered in. So randomly, different people will get filtered in and I'll start to see your videos come up. And the way that my gift and my ability works, because many of you have seen me give readings on TV and you've heard me give readings on the radio, is that my gift mainly works that I feel the departed, but I also see the departed. So when I look out onto all of you, all I see is dead people. And the crazy part is that I couldn't put everybody's video up on the screen because it'd get too overwhelming with me. Because even right now, all of your loved ones are trying to come through and they're trying to speak. So everybody that's here tonight, everyone's here on this group reading, all of your loved ones are stepping through, trying to communicate and trying to speak. And what's really, truly incredible is that they will guide me to be where I have to go and what person I have to talk to. It all depends on what souls have a message. But what I can let you know is that tonight isn't about the individual readings. It's about you knowing that your loved one is here and with you. So I'm going to be talking about the process. I'm going to be talking a little bit about the other side while I do this. And also while you're tuning in and while you're listening to some of the readings, I hope that it'll help you to feel closer to your loved ones that have passed on the other side, because they are right here. They are with you. You know, all you have to do is talk to them and have faith in knowing that they are by your side. So as we do these readings, think about your own loved ones, know that they are right here and with you. And more importantly, I can't make everyone's loved ones stop talking, even though I have only select videos on the screen and you'll see people start to cycle through. What I want you to know is that all of your loved ones are here. And I'm telling you this for a reason, because I can't control all of these souls speaking to me. For me, people ask me all the time, what is it like for you? What does it sound like? Well, to let you know right now, all I hear are all of these different whispers that are around me. It's literally like if you go into a restaurant or if you go into a shopping mall and all of a sudden you hear all these people, but you can't make out what they're saying. Well, it's the same thing that's happening to me right now, because as you guys are all logging in, all of your loved ones know that you're here and with me, even though we're in different places. And more importantly, that they can speak to me to connect with you. So the reason why I'm telling you this is that if I'm reading for somebody, but you also hear a message for yourself, know that it could be your loved one coming through. So pay close attention while I'm doing these readings, because Spirit has a way of reaching everybody when I'm connecting with the other side. And, you know, I like this to be a fun and uplifting event. I know everybody gets nervous before they come here. You know, who's nervous beforehand, who's losing their login information, who doesn't know what to expect. Listen, we're going to laugh, we're going to cry, we're going to shut our pants tonight. It's going to be great, because I like this to be an uplifting experience. So I want you all to know that. And that being said, let's start right away. I actually want to start with Morgan Smith. Can I start with Morgan Smith? I'm not saying your name right, so you got to say
you
it.
said it right. It's Morgan. Yeah, I'm her mother. You said it right.
Oh, perfect, perfect. I'm so excited that you're here.
Hi.
It's so great to connect with you. And where are you tuning in from today?
Houston.
Houston, Texas. Great. Thank you so much for being here. So right away, first of all, I'm connecting with the father. So your dad departed?
Mine or
Your mom.
Yeah.
Because your father's right here, which would be your grandfather, acknowledging that he's here and with you. I love that you're saying no, 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 no.
I'm the skeptic. I'm the skeptic.
I don't care. Listen, Spirit doesn't care if you're a skeptic or not. I love skeptics. And let me tell you something. Your father's here for a reason here today. Because he's stepping forward and he says, there was no way that I would be able to communicate with her, he says, if it wasn't for you. And your dad is stepping forward today because he says to me that there's so much that he has to talk about, and there's so much that he has to make amends for here in this world because he's acknowledging that. I know this is tough for you, and this is your first time to a medium, but listen, your dad says to me that there was an argument or arguments before his departure here in this world. You understand that?
Yeah.
And your father says to me that you didn't get to have a proper goodbye with him.
Oh, no.
Your father says to me when I'm connecting with him, he says, my daughter is still very angry with me, and she's still very upset with me. And your dad says to me that I'm coming through today because I want to let you know that I'm sorry. Do you understand that?
Papa.
Your father.
That's my stepdad.
What?
That's my stepdad.
Do you understand this?
Yeah, I do, for sure.
And he's saying to me that, listen, I know you're nervous. Don't worry. If you pass out, I'm in EMT to revive you. If you die, we can talk to you. You're in the best place. Don't be nervous. But your stepdad shows me that you had a good relationship with one another, and then it fell apart here in this world. And your dad is telling me, because even though you're calling him your stepfather, he tells me that you were his daughter. He says, even though things went sour at the end, and he's acknowledging that. He says, I want to let you know that I'm sorry for changing the person that I was. And more importantly, he says, I'm sorry for ever being distant from you. He says that I'm sorry for getting separated from you. Do you understand that?
Oh, absolutely.
He says he's stepping forward today to let you know that he's asking your forgiveness. Because even though that you go and you don't like to think about him or don't like to talk about him because it's too hard, he says to me that you need to let go of this because there's a piece of your heart that's still not healed.
Is he mad at me, though?
What?
Is he mad at me?
He is not mad at you. And that's what you have to let go of. This is what's so amazing, is that when you come here, it doesn't matter if you're a skeptic. It doesn't matter who fits the bill and who buys the ticket. So even though you bought the ticket, Morgan, sorry. And,
I actually did, huh?
Well, you did. know that, whoever it is that has to come through will. And he's stepping forward to say, I'm sorry. And I also did you also lose the child here in this world? Because there's also a young male that's stepping forward on the other side. Where was the young male that departed?
I'm in recovery. I'm sober, and I recently lost a couple friends. My friend Max and my friend Kevin recently passed away. They weren't young though, so I'm not sure.
Well, young to me would be anyone that'd be about your age or somebody who would be, would be before their time. Because know that they're stepping forward as well. I think it's your friend Max that's stepping forward and I'm connecting. Because I thought he was saying Matt. And he's coming through and he's acknowledging that he's here. And let me tell you something. This might have been your friend, but he had like a crush on you here in this world. Because you're
picture behind us, Max and I went and got that picture together, and it's something really special to me. So I positioned the camera to face that. I was hoping I'd hear from him.
Perfect. Well, no, it's his way of acknowledging that he's here because he's stepping forward. He says to me, and this is what happens. I love when people come in and they lie to me and they're like, oh yeah, we're just friends. We're just friends. But he said to me, the two of you are like friends with benefits here in this world.
Oh,
He says to me,
Mom's in the room. Mom's in the room.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just telling you what he's telling me. And he says to me, we loved each other. He says, I felt that me and her were going to be in a relationship or something could have progressed between me and her. Because he's acknowledging that. And he says to me that he does watch over you every single day when I'm connecting with him. And he says to me, don't let my path deter you from your own. He says, because we were doing this together, you and him relied on one another, when it came to being sober and when it came to doing what you're doing. And he says to me, I made a wrong choice. Do you understand that? And he keeps saying to me, I just want to let you know that I'm sorry. He says that he was doing so good. He keeps telling me I was doing so good and I was doing so wonderful. And he says to me, we're always in constant communication. He says, but I made a mistake. He says, and it cost me my life. But he says to me that he wants to thank you for showing him what love was here in this world. Because even though the two of you were a couple, he shows me that you did things like a couple would here in this world.
I just went and got a tattoo for him. So yeah, he's like really.
Oh yeah, but he's not your boyfriend. He's not. He's just.
No, I know.
Just for everyone on this group call today, just see how they try to bullshit me. Do you see how they try to bullshit me and say that? So no, it's his way of acknowledging that, because he was telling me, he goes, listen, he goes, we were getting ready to take the next step, but to be in a relationship with one another here in this world, and you feel like you lost a part of your heart when you lost him. He says, but I want to thank you. He says, for everything that you have done for me. He says, and for helping me on my road to recovery here in this world. It's his way of letting you know that he's at peace, that he is with you, and that more importantly, his soul is on the other side. Okay? I'm going to leave you with that. And also what I want to let you know is that if you're all tuned in right now, if you want a reading, please make sure that you raise your hands. There should be a button at the bottom of the screen where you can raise your hands. That's how we're going to do it tonight, because I know some people don't want readings, some people do. So